I'm sorry. Yeah, please. Anusha and Sneha, if I request you to please, switch on your cameras. Yeah. So you can introduce yourself. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Hi.
I
Good
think
evening. Just a minute. Let me put on.
no.
So, hello everyone. Myself, Dr. Sneha Pate. I have completed my PhD from Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. And earlier, I was working with chemical certification industry. That was EU regulation. And recently, I moved to London as my husband got internal transfer over here. So currently, I'm exploring opportunities in this industry and looking forward to learn about sustainability reporting and other things about it. So basically, I'm new to this part. Otherwise, I'm aware of chemical compliance things. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, others. Pawan sir, your voice is not audible if you're speaking. No, sir. Pawan sir, is it okay if you can log out and log in? So maybe a possibility that your yeah, yes. Yeah. So Anusha and Ekta.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Myself, Anusha. I have done my environmental engineering, and previously I have around 8 years of experience in the field. Like I had mainly worked on the fecal sludge management, and before that I have also worked in the pollution control board for actually for 1 year actually, and after that I have also worked as an ESG manager in one of the company. And from past 5 years, I have taken the career break. So now I need to restart the career. That's the reason I thought I'll add up to my profile by doing some course. So that is how I'm here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Ekta.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, this is Ekta.
Yeah. Hi.
Basically, I'm a chemical engineer. So I worked as a chemical engineer, basic process engineer in three of the organization. One was Uflex. After that, in Aditya Birla Chemicals, and presently I'm working in Jubilant as EHS partner for external manufacturing. So I'm basically into the auditing of EHS, ISO 14,000, 45,000, social accountability. So apart from that, I'm also, a bit involved in water saving and other in initiatives. So that's why I opt this course. That's it.
Thank you. Sir?
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So myself, Pawan Kumar. So basically, I'm a civil engineer by profession. So basically, I was into construction sector from 2006 to 13. From 13 onwards, I'm working in the field of sanitation. Maybe sometime around. So I was also thinking about. So people were talking about ESG and all. So I also just wanted to check, just wanted to learn what is ESG, sustainability reporting and all. So I also spoke to Bala sir many times to understand what is ESG, should I do this or not? And I also made my senior to talk to Bala sir just before confirming. So yeah, this is where I am. So basically, my main aim is that I also want to shift into the field of ESG. So I am also looking for a career shift from this course.
Okay, thank you all. I'm sure the common objective is a career shift, career growth, probably from what we are today to something better tomorrow. Of course, we usually use this tagline for a better tomorrow or a sustainable tomorrow. A better
Sir,
tomorrow.
also one more thing, sir.
Yes.
Anusha was my ex-colleague in my earlier organization.
Yeah, I
Just
was
now.
about to tell that, Pawan.
Oh, okay.
Both were. Yeah.
So world is so small.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
working in
Yeah.
the same firm. Yeah.
Okay, world
Correct.
is so
Correct.
small. Yeah.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
let us
Nice
start
meeting
our
you, Neha.
journey.
Yeah.
Welcome you all. We'll be expecting 2 to 3 more joiners probably by next week. Still, few discussions are happening. So let's hope we'll be having a batch of 7, 8 is what we are expecting at least. But 5 for sure. The other person is traveling. So she's Kumuda. She'll be joining us maybe day after tomorrow. So today she's not joining us, but otherwise 2 to 3 more people may be joining us in a week or 2 weeks is what we are expecting as we are already in talks with them. So because it's a long project, it's not just that we would want to do it in 1 month and give you the so-called learning for the sake of saying it, and we would want to complete the batch and all. Like a lot of people do expect that in 1 month they will become masters. So which we actually can do, being very honest. We want time that we need to spend together so that we understand the relativeness and the practicality of the industry so that we'll be able to do something. At least if we start our career from this, whatever we are today, tomorrow if we join any organization, we'll be able to give at least 60%, 70% of the quality, maybe not 100%. So that's the aim that we are having as an organization. Otherwise, you all know we are not primarily education institution, we are primarily consultancy. Though we are a young organization having 3 years of experience, still we would like to spend some time doing this job. We are passionate about creating some awareness among us different professionals, because tomorrow if you want a sustainable change, the same time we also need quality people. So that's one of the objectives why we are spending some time in this area. That's how we came into this picture. But to be honest with you, this is something which we started about 2 years ago and which was the bread and butter for us, being very honest. So at that point in time, because we were very young, just not even a year old organization, so we were into a lot of troubles in a way that you are very young, you are not even a year old organization. Why would I trust you? What do I give you? Why would I give you my project? What is the proof that you'll be able to write a sustainability report? Despite the fact that we as individuals are capable of doing it, however, the industry is such, the market is such that you need a brand value. So initially, it was not a practical possibility for us to have some projects in hand. So that's when we thought of doing some trainings, and definitely it was the scenario where these trainings were bread and butter for us for the entire team of 7, 8 members. However, now we are slowly and gradually moving towards the actual objective of our organization, where we do provide consultancy and advisory, followed by writing sustainability reports as well, comparing different organizations' reports to give them the gaps and all. That is one area. Second area is about carbon. I think Ekta, you're part of this carbon accounting. Not I think, I'm sure you're part of this topic called carbon accounting, and Avinash was the trainer. So that is other area where we are focusing as consultants, where we do offer carbon related services, be it carbon accounting, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 calculations, only scope 3 calculations, or even if you think about carbon credit system, we help them. Advisory, we help them. Carbon management, we help them. Net zero target setting, we help them. That's all different, a separate story. So that's more towards energy and emission. So in addition to that, we also do PCF, product carbon footprint calculations, CBAM reporting, ESRS reporting for European market. And then we are also into market intelligence, where we take, I mean, this is something which I have not started yet, but we are capable of doing it. So I spent almost 3.5 years in the same industry before getting into consultancy. So here we will be, I mean, as of now, we don't have any projects, but we are starting to look for projects where we will be getting a number of companies, let's say 20, 30, 50, 100, and then we'll be analyzing the company's data, giving you insights about what is the company's average, I mean, sorry, in the industry average. So whether as an investor, as a supplier, as a stakeholder, would you want to invest or would you want to consider any organization for that matter, is what we do. We call it as business sustainability assessment. So that's also we'll be learning in this entire course. In addition to that, trainings. This is broadly who we are as an organization. Hope you got some clarity. Though we did speak about all these parameters in our during our one-on-one calls as well. Still, I would want to make it clear before we proceed further. So once again, welcome you all to the learning. and we'll be together for at least about 3.5 months is what we are forecasting. Up during by end of December or first or second week of January is what we are expecting that we'll be able to complete the course. If there are no many leaves, or sorry, no many offs that we may have to have, like Diwali celebrations, or maybe some holidays, like second is a holiday, so we can't have a class unless everybody agrees to it because it's a national holiday. So otherwise, as per the schedule, it's about first week or second week, latest by first week or second week of January 2025 is what we'll be able to complete the course. And that's when you will have, after that, you'll be given about 2 weeks time till the end of the month to submit the project, where we'll be giving you additional certificate. But by the time we'll be completing the course, you'll be getting a certificate called course completion. Right. So this bit about our course. Just let me just also give you what we will be learning in this entire course before we start with today's lecture. Sorry, I did not open the file, but since you all know, I do not want to spend some time on that. So we have 3 phases. Phase 1, 2, 3. Phase 1 is about understanding what is ESG, why it is important, what is sustainability, the correlation between these 2 parameters. Then international principles like UNGC, SDG, PRI. Then we'll be speaking about standards and frameworks like ESRS, GRA, SASB, BRSR, environmental filings like CDP, TCFD, a bit of introduction towards SBTI, because that is something which we will be dealing with in carbon accounting course, because that's more relevant there. And then we speak about what is sustainability reporting, why it is important, what is the core objective of having a sustainability report published by any organization. Then different other terminology like, other reports like proxy. I don't know if you have heard of these kind of names, DEF 14A, or maybe 10K, 20F, MD&A, different kinds of reports that are relevant to this industry, like sustainability report, annual reports. So we'll understand and we'll introduce you to this kind of technology, corporate sustainability guidelines, corporate governance guidelines. A few documents are there which are found from specific nations, not from every nation. So we will be learning that. Then we will be understanding the career differences, or career mapping. So what you are or what you were till today, and what you can become tomorrow. What you are, and what you can become tomorrow. That's where, if we speak about what are different opportunities that we have in the market, which based on your existing experience and whatever you will be learning for the next 1.5 months time, you'll be able to correlate what you were, what you are, and what is that you are learning today, and how you will be able to integrate the learning with your existing or with your past experience. Then with that session, you'll be able to understand what you can do as an individual in your future endeavors. So that's the bridge between phase 1 and 2 and 3, right? And then we'll be moving on to 2, where we will be working with 15 different companies and with a template. I hope you all remember that I was speaking about a template that we will be sharing with you, which would be consisting of about 150, 180 odd indicators or benchmark points, whatever you name it, or parameters or questions, probably you can name it. But however, in our language, I mean, when I say our language, ESG language, we name it as, indicators, right? So these indicators list is what we'll be giving you, an Excel template. So your responsibility by the time we'll be completing our phase 2 is that you will have to make it sure that you will be able to make it a template that will be consisting of at least about 700 indicators. On the least side, 500 indicators. So we will be helping you. What are different topics under E, S, and G? Even economics. So usually when we speak about ESG, there is a hidden topic called economics. We will be learning that today. So within these 4 topics, what are different topics, subtopics that we have? Under E, like emission, energy, water waste. Under waste, what we need to look at. Under emission, what we need to look at. Under social, let's say, governance, health and safety, what we need to look at. Diversity, equity, inclusion, what we need to look at. Probably customer satisfaction, what we need to look at. Under governance, board structure, 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier board. Probably code of conduct, policies, maybe risk and assessment, materiality assessment, different topics. Under that, again, subtopics. So like that, we will be explaining. And by the time we will be completing our phase 2, you shall be able to have your own template that will be consisting of at least, on the least side, 500 different indicators. And trust me and believe me, if you are able to do it on your own, that is your asset. That is the platform or the material that will fetch you a job in this area. And this entire work that will be done by you is your own asset. In even I will not have any rights on the data unless you allow me to share it with anybody else. Even I cannot do it because that's your hard-earned data. We will be giving you one template and you are making it your own template with respect to what industry you are looking at, what experience you carry so far, and where you'd want to work and what they would be requiring is what we'll be understanding in phase 2. Accordingly, we'll be making this template. So that is your own template with your own IPR, intellectual property right, where no other person will be having right unless you give us permission to share it or to speak about it, right? That is unique asset that we'll be having. In addition to that, with that template, you are required to work on 15 different companies at least from five different sectors. Why 5 different sectors? Because it gives you other topics, other areas of ESG topics, other strong areas or weak areas, probably you can say, not really weak, I would say, material topics. So for this industry, this is relevant. For this industry, this is relevant. For this industry, this is relevant. So if you understand 4 or 5 different industries or sectors that you are interested in, it will be easier for you to interpret the other industry which will be coming in your way. However, take this one line as a probably the strong point that about 85 to 95% of the subject will remain same irrespective of the industry that you will be working with. However, depending on your industry, you will be able to do justice to the organization if you have industry experience. For example, me being somebody who is from a financial background, if I go to oil and gas industry, immediately I'll not be able to give them right solution unless I understand the operations of the industry. How does oil and gas industry works? What is the functionality? So for that, I have to spend some time. Otherwise, if you are from similar industry, you will be better than me if you both take the industry at the same time, right? So that is the reason why you are required to understand at least about 5 industries and you have to work on that. So that after that, even if you take any other industry, any other sector, which is nowhere related to your either educational background or experiential background, work experience background, doesn't matter. You will be able to achieve at least 80 to 85% on the lower side, 90 to 95% on the higher side in terms of data points. And that 5 to 10%, 15% is what you need to learn from your operational perspective. You need to understand the operations of the organization. You need to understand how an organization is having different departments and how they are working together, where you can find gaps, what those gaps could be, what kind of risk does a specific industry or sector have, and what you can do. So once you understand that, the 15-20% will also be covered. That's not a very big thing. It's something like I've taught you A, B, C, D, and a bit of grammar. And doesn't matter if you have to use 10-word statement or 100-word statement. With experience, you'll be able to make it. The foundation is what we'll be learning in this and at the end after 4 months, right? This is what we will be giving. And finally, during phase 3, that's where we will be understanding what is score and rating and comparative analysis. Though that is just for about 3 to 4 hours, but still that is very, very, very crucial conclusion for the entire course module. Hope I'm clear in terms of what we will be learning and what we'll have to do. Any questions so far?
Yeah, sir, it's very new at this point of time. Maybe going further, I'll be able to.
Sure. Yep. So let us start today's session. Before that, I also would like to make one more statement. If you think there is something which you have a question or you have a doubt, please feel free to stop me. However, a small request is that let me complete the topic for that, maybe for a minute or two, and then you can stop me. or if I'm stopped in the middle of a topic that I would want to complete, I may be going in a different way, instead speaking about a specific objective, right? So that's the only request. Otherwise, you're free to stop me at any point in time whenever you have a question. That's absolutely fine. As we promised, these sessions will be interactive sessions. That we assure you that this entire batch, I mean, not just this batch, for this entire image will remain interactive sessions, right? Thank you so much for joining us. Let us start today's session. Allow me a minute to share my screen. Thank you so much once again and welcome you all. So today we'll be starting with what is ESG and why it is important. I'm sure most of you must be having enough idea what is ESG and why it is important. However, let us start from the basics. Probably somebody does not have any understanding. So for their understanding purpose, so let us start from the very basic understanding. So, okay, I'm sorry, I did not share my screen. Yeah, is the screen visible? Are you able to see something?
Yes.
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 Overview on ESG sustainability career mentoring, right?
Yeah.
Great. So, welcome to the first session. So, before we proceed further, may I know what is ESG, what is sustainability? What is your understanding about it? It is okay. If you're right, wrong, doesn't matter. Even I'm not an expert. So before I start this journey, I also would want to make this point very clear. Please understand that I'm not an expert. I'm not an ESG expert. I am somebody who is having enough experience in an area where I'll be able to assess the company's requirements in terms of ESG objectives and write a sustainability report by doing the data management and doing the business sustainability assessment. Otherwise, I'm not an expert where I'm known to anything and everything that is in the space of ESG. No. For that matter, no individual can become an ESG expert. Please understand that. We cannot become ESG experts. And I also forgot to mention this point, though I wanted to mention it a couple of times. Sorry, I skipped this point. So the core objective of this entire course is that we will be learning what is ESG sustainability, why an organization wants it, what if an organization does not integrate ESG in the organizational active operations as well in their value chain organization operations. What is the core objective of writing a sustainability report? What happens if you do not write a sustainability report, and how to write a sustainability report? Then how we can do a comparative analysis. So integrating, implementing, and practicing ESG is what we will be learning, followed by writing a sustainability report with the help of business sustainability assessment. This is the course objective. Otherwise, I'm not promising you all that, like I was mentioning, we will not be able to learn entire ESG in just 60 hours. That is practically impossible. And for that matter, even I'm not an expert. Right? So this is the course objective, as I already mentioned, as I already discussed with you all on one-on-one calls. For the better understanding, I've just reiterated this. So this is what we will be learning in this entire course module with an objective where we'll be learning this course module with an objective of providing advisory integration solutions to an organization by understanding their ESG requirements by writing a sustainability report with the help of business sustainability assessments. And also, we will be able to do some sort of comparative analysis, right? This is the course objective overall, right? So now, what is ESG? What is sustainability? If somebody can speak on this. So what is your understanding? It's okay, whatever your understanding is, you can share.
So basically, there are that is environment, sustainability, and governance. Maybe I've also heard that CSR is also a part of ESG. So yeah, not much of an understanding, sir.
Okay.
ESG comprises of environment, social, and governance. Three pillars are there,
Okay.
and initially it was like ESG is generally used specifically for investing. It's like kind of from there only, and now it's not limited to only investing. It's more of, it's like it's more to society, it's more to the suppliers, it's more about employees. So basically it's like that. And if
Okay.
i if I talk about this sustainability, so sustainability, we can say in terms of like sustainability do have few pillars like economic, social, and environment. Or we can so sustainability is also like the sustainability of the business.
Mhm.
It's like that.
So what is the relation between ESG and sustainability then?
It's the relationship is like nowadays the things are changing, the climate change, the more emphasis on environment, the more emphasis on social factors. So it is very crucial for an organization to sustain in the future, despite having the adverse thing that are coming in, coming in future. So it's like companies ability to meet the present need with the resources that they have, and they have to keep that for future as well without compromising the needs of future. They should continue their business, they should sustain their business. So that is the link basically. So from ESG perspective, we are seeing how we are managing our environment, the environment in which we are operating our organization, how we are actually interlinking our environment to the social things, like the things, the employees, the suppliers, the people around our organization, and how we are actually leading our organization, how we are governing our organization so that it can sustain in future, in present, and we can have the organization in future.
All right. Precisely, if I have to comment, yes, you are right. A few statements are here and there. Of course, I understand. Otherwise, the objective is pretty much clear. Of course, that's the meaning of ESG and sustainability. So let us understand it from the basics. So I spoke about already. I already spoke about ESG. Sorry, Tattva. Who are we? So let us understand what is sustainability. So as you rightly mentioned, it is something. Of course, when we speak about the core meaning of sustainability, Ekta, you related it with business, and we cannot deny that that's wrong. No, we cannot deny that's in fact a correct statement. So, however, when we speak about the concept of sustainability, before even we think about business, before we need to speak of the actual meaning of sustainability. So sustainability is something which lasts forever, kind of. So which has longevity or long-term presence. In a very simple or layman language, if I have to make anything that has long-term visibility, long-term availability. So probably that is in a very layman language, we can understand that there is sustainability, and we all know. It's not that we don't know. We all know. It's just that we are not putting it in the right words. So if you look at, there are different statements that have come from different bodies. So one fine statement that has come from United Nations is that, you can read it on the screen. Development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This was a statement which was given in the year 2000, if I remember the year right. So at that point in time, though there were a lot of inequalities in terms of individuals also, still the primary focus was with respect to environment, right? So if you look at this statement, it is more towards your natural resources. Am I right or wrong? So
Yes,
what
sir.
are we,
Yes.
what,
Yes.
yeah. So it's more towards your natural resources. And as per this statement, we cannot imply it to the concept of ESG from this statement. However, if you go deeper towards the meaning of the statement, if you dig, if you understand word by word, we can also somehow relate the natural resources with respect to individuals, kind of. Not exactly, but kind of. You can a bit correlate. So days go by, years go by, the definition has evolved. Primarily, the objective is that whatever we have today, let us have it, let us use it with respect to our needs. For example, I'm having one house and at least 4 people can stay happily. But I'm buying another house. I'm buying another house. And me being a family of 4, and we are having 5 houses. So that is want. I'm having 2 cars, one for me, one for my wife. But since I have 2 more kids, or maybe 3 more kids, I would want to buy 1, 2, or 3 more cars, one per person. Having one car itself is want. In today's era, let's assume it is need. Let's assume. Still, having second car itself is want. Just imagine if you're trying to have 3 more cars for your 3 children, 2 more cars for your 2 children, 1 more car for your 1 child. Want. So the kind of definition that we need to understand here in terms of sustainability is that we need to look at the need part of anything that we are using today, be it human, be it an item, be it a thing, be it a natural resource. And we need to make it sure that it remains forever for our future generations to meet their own needs again, not wants. So as long as we have something that is lasting for kind of lifetimes, that is not depleting, that is not going anywhere. And that is where we speak about the concept of sustainability. And this is in general. At this point, till this point in time, here there is no business in general. As an individual, if you want to become sustainable, you can also think about a lot of things. Using one very simple example that I always quote. Let's say you are having AC in one of your rooms, right? And I personally find a lot of individuals, and to my surprise, I personally know quite a few of my friends who do this. They keep the room temperature at 60-degree temperature, and they use a blanket. Do you know somebody like this? I'm sure you must be knowing. Individuals who keep their AC temperature, who set their room temperature at 16 degrees centigrade and they use a blanket. What is the need? So that is kind of want. There is pleasure. So that is something which they love to do. However, we are not realizing the consequences. Let us say the outside temperature is 34 degrees centigrade or 40 degrees centigrade. Usually we prefer to switch on our ACs during summers. In general, usually the temperatures are somewhere near 35 to 45 in general, right? Let's assume the average temperature is 40 degrees centigrade and you are keeping your AC temperature at 16 degrees centigrade, where your AC has to keep your room temperature at 16 degrees centigrade. Approximately 2.5 times, not approximately, exactly, is the outside temperature. What does it mean? Your compressor and your AC, the conditioning system, has to work a lot to maintain your room temperature at 16 degrees centigrade, and which means it has to continuously functioning. It has to continuously function. What if you keep your room temperature at 24 or 26 degrees centigrade? Don't you think the functionality of the AC will reduce? Don't you think the compressor functionality will reduce? Don't you think the power consumption will reduce? Don't you think the lifetime of the AC will increase? Don't you think the maintenance cost comes down? Don't you think if the overall life of AC goes up, the waste that is going to landfill will reduce? Don't you think if the landfill waste is getting reduced, the the emissions will reduce? Don't you think if the AC is functioning less, the hydrofluorocarbons that will be emitted onto the atmosphere will come down? Do you understand? One small activity. I don't know how many of you know it. Do you know it? I think few of you are from a chemical background and environmental background. You must be knowing it, I'm sure.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Almost
Yes.
each of you are from either chemical or environmental background, and you must be knowing it. I don't really have to explain it, right? See, however, despite the fact that we know the truth, still we prefer to keep the room temperature at 16 degrees centigrade. That is want. That's where the problem comes. However, it is from the individual level. And sorry for my words, if somebody is a fashion freak, I'm sorry, not to personally offend somebody. However, if you look at a lot of individuals, at least in today's era, at least especially from last 15 years, especially, every individual is having hundreds of pairs of clothes, not really hundreds, at least dozens of pairs of clothes. Still, they buy. Still, they buy. And if you wear something today, a trouser, a jeans, a t-shirt, whatever, a sari or chudidar, whatever it is, and if you use all your clothes, at least it will require 1 month to use the pair that you use today. In general, most of the cases, at least which I come across, I mean, those situations which I come across, at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we say that, okay, we are earning and life is very short, let us enjoy. There's no, I mean, there is personal, life. I cannot comment on that. However, if we speak about sustainability, then it is our duty to think about it. I'm sure since you are from this similar background, you know how many liters of water that we need to manufacture one t-shirt or one shirt or one trouser. How much waste that we are having, not just normal waste, hazardous waste that we are generating. Every time we buy one shirt, every time we buy one piece of cloth, anything that it can be, anything, shirt, trousers, sari, whatever it is. But it is pleasure. I'm earning, fortunately, and I'm buying. I'm not harming anybody. I'm earning diligently. Yet, as a responsible citizen, if you think about sustainability, then you have to limit your buying. You have to think about your buying. Hence, the buying strategy, or rather I would say, the buying structure of individuals, the consumers, has changed. I don't know how many of you have actually observed it. I cannot say it's completely changed, but it is still in the verge of changing. A lot of people are now thinking. One of the best examples. Nowadays, a lot of manufacturers are actually focusing on 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, 6-star, 7-star ACs. I mean, sorry, 5-star, what do you say, gadgets, electronics, electrical appliances. And if you look at automotives, BS1, BS2, BS3, BS5, BS6, BS7 about to launch. BS8, BS9, I think BS8 is already there in some Western nations, I think. But BS7 is already there. India, we are going to launch. You all know, right? What is BS6, 7, BS5, BS6, BS7?
Engines, huh?
Yes, engines, the vehicle engines, which are said that the higher the number, BS number, the more the mileage, which means lesser the emission, lesser the pollution that we generate, that we create. And the mindset of the consumers is changing. We are now wanting to buy something which is coming at even extra price, which is expensive in comparison with other alternative. Yet we would want to buy those expensive items or appliances because we are also changing. But the rate at which we are changing is not really sufficient. So if you look at sustainability overall, sustainability is a process where we try to protect what we have today and also to make it sure that our future generations will be able to use them to have their own needs fulfilled. The basic and generic definition, right? So this is something which we have discussed so far, and all these things are something which are in relation to environment. However, Ekta did clearly speak about the challenges that we are facing from the point of view of ethics and governance as well. And these are the reasons why we need to think about ESG. So what is ESG? I believe you must have heard of this one phrase. 80% of the wealth is being organized or handled by 20% of the people, and 20% of the wealth is with 80% of the people, the 80-20 formula. I hope you know it, right? And almost 90% of 95% of the occasions or scenarios, this formula proves valid. Have you heard of it? 20-80 law or 80-20 law? Anybody?
Yes.
Right? In the very similar
Yes.
way, when it comes to sustainability, what you think is the primary area that we need to focus? For example, if I ask you this question, as per you, what action if we take diligently, then we will be able to achieve this concept of sustainability, or we'll be able to live longer life. I mean, when I say we, not just us, our children, their children, their children, their children, etc., etc., etc. So what steps or what departments or what groups or what which stakeholders or who you think are the primary sources for so-called change that we are expecting? So not primary source, not for the change that we are thinking about. Why we're thinking about change? Because damage has happened already. So by changing one thing, we will be able to reverse the conditions, the damage. So what that one thing you think is most relevant? Any guess? Business fraternity. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right? Though as individuals, we are 800 crore people at an average. Maybe only about 3-4 crores, maybe 5 crore organizations are there across the globe, maybe 10 crores. Even if we take very small organizations, also 50 crore. I don't think there are 50 crore organizations, but even if you take, not really possible 50 crore organizations across the globe. Right? So don't you think all these organizations become sustainable? We'll be able to reverse the climatic conditions, we'll be able to reverse all negative aspects, don't you think? Hello?
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
And don't you also think that this business can contribute to 80%, at least about 80% positive, 80% of the damage? Or if you speak about the solutions, 80% solutions can come from business? 20-80 law. So,
Yep.
if you can relate the concept, why we are speaking about ESG? So if you look at the meaning of the concept, environment, social, and governance are three different topics which are non-financial in nature. Agreed? So ESG is a platform which is about the disclosure of non-financial performance of an organization. What is non-financial performance? Environmental performance. So when we speak about environment, how much energy you are consuming, how much emission you are emitting, how much waste you are generating, how much you are recycling, how much water you are wasting, you are using, how much you are consuming, how much is going to, discharge, how much is discharging, how much is hazardous waste, how much is non-hazardous waste, how much is solid, how much is fluid waste, how much renewable energy, how much non-renewable energy. You get that? All these factors are non-financial in nature. Whereas then what is financial? Liability, asset, profit, tax, tangible, intangible, cost, paid up capital, operating capital, shares, debentures, bonds. So these are financial terminologies, right? Balance sheet, P&L account. P&L account as in profit and loss account. Ratios, EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, and amortization. Sorry, depreciation and amortization. Earnings before income and earnings before income tax. Earnings before interest. So all these factors are your financial parameters. Whereas we speak about a platform called non-financial in nature of an organization, which are environmental, social, and governance. As part of environmental topic, we discussed just now, biodiversity, flora, fauna, planting trees, sequestration, carbon emissions, bonds, debentures, not really bonds, debentures, probably I would say green bonds, green certifications of different buildings. So these are some non-financial topics that we deal under environment. If you look at social, diversity, equity, inclusivity, so DE and I, LGBTQ, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, gay. I mean, I forgot the meaning of the word Q, I mean, letter Q. There are different other categories of people, physically challenged, caste, creed, religion. So out of you four, let's say one is Muslim, one is Hindu, one is Christian. Since I'm a Hindu, I'll be giving more preference to the Hindu person. So is it right or wrong? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is it right or wrong? Let's say one of you is are Hindu, or two of you are Hindus, and other two are not Hindus. Since I'm a Hindu, I'm giving more priority to those two who are from Hindu community. Is it right or wrong?
Wrong.
It's wrong.
No, it's right because I'm Hindu, right?
But there will be no equality.
Sorry, Sneha?
There will be no equality. No, you're giving
Right.
preference as per the religion.
So one is a boy, one is a girl. Since I'm a boy, I'm of course attracted towards girls, so I'm giving more priority to girl. So if I'm a girl and I'm more attracted towards boys, I'm giving more priority to boys. Though, despite the fact that the girl is really good in comparison with boy, but still I'll be going with the boy. So that is again okay, right? Because I'm liking the person. Is it okay or not?
It's
Obviously, no.
inequality, sir.
Yes. So
Inclusivity.
salary, yes, absolutely. I'm paying salaries to my employees. Since one is male, so I'm paying more. Since other person is female, a girl, I'm paying less. So these things are still there in the society. It's not that these were the scenarios. This is history. No. Even today, we are experiencing these things. Discrimination based on caste, creed, religion, gender, nationality, background, color, height, weight, appearance. Even today, we are having it. Agreed or not? So these
Yes.
things have to be changed. An organization has to take actions towards creating equal opportunity for everyone, every employee. Does not mean that CEO and the fresher will be paid equally. Depending on what you do, you have to pay. Doesn't matter if you're a boy, if you're a girl, doesn't matter if you're a woman, if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're doing the same job, you have to be paid equally. If somebody is really good with respect to the job, doesn't matter if the person is relative of mine or from the category that I belong to, SC, ST, BC, OBC, or caste, religion, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it shall not matter to me. Me being a manager, I shall always give priority to that specific individual who is actually giving his or her heart out, giving their time, their capacity to help themselves as well to help grow the organization. There shall not be any discrimination. That is when the inequalities will be eradicated. Otherwise, one very simple example. I'm sure you all know this. I'm just trying to recreate the situation so that future sessions you'll be able to correlate. For example, there are two individuals who have come for the interview, and the job is for, let's say, computer operator. Okay. Two individuals have come, A and B. Interview is done. A is somebody who is looks normal. B is somebody who's not having legs. He or she is a physically challenged girl or boy, whatever. Physically challenged person. Right? Now, these two people have appeared for the interview. And the position is for computer operating. Now, which person will you be giving? I mean, the opportunity will be given to which person? If I make you the interviewer, whom you will choose? The person with
Whoever
legs?
is eligible, sir.
On what basis you will decide? Whoever is eligible.
Knowledge,
But
sincerity.
though the person B is
Yes.
having enough knowledge, but the person is not having legs. How can he be
So for a
compatible?
computer operator, no, for a computer operator, that is not a criteria.
Exactly. What if it is about painting walls? Then
May be difficult to select.
absolutely. Now it is not discrimination. Please understand that. So discrimination, you cannot always say that. For example, companies like, usually companies which are into oil and gas, usually they don't hire women as employees. And they have their own reasons, their biological situations, etc., etc. So every time you cannot blame a company for not hiring women as employees. So depending on the kind of job, you have to define your boundaries, to define, to set the parameters that, okay, based on these parameters, only the person has to be selected. If a person has to work at heights, and if you do not have legs, and I definitely cannot hire you. And that is not discrimination. And if it is a computer operating job, and if I'm saying that you're looking black and you're black in color, so let me not hire you. You're not having legs, let me not hire you. This is discrimination based on physical appearance, based on color, based on caste, based on creed, based on religion. So this is something which we need to eradicate. So organizations can do it. Equal remuneration, we just spoke. Equal opportunity, we just spoke. Training and development. Since you are my family member, since you are a cousin, since you are my lover, or whatever, I'm giving more training and more opportunities to you. And other people are not, I'm not interested in them. I'm just doing just for, we say it naam ke vaste. I'm just doing it just for the sake of doing it. No. Training and development is one such weapon for any organization where it can create wonders. If you provide training to all employees equal, and if you make it sure that every employee gets benefit out of this training and development programs of your organization, which will be held by your different departments, depending on your respective capacity. It is not necessary that every training has to be given to every individual. That is not necessary. Common trainings will be given to all employees, and specific skill development trainings and all will be given to specific departments. Let's say how to work at heights. Not necessary for a admin job. Not necessary for admin job, right? Not necessary for a driver. How to drive vehicles very diligently. Not necessary for the coding expert. Not necessary for the salesperson. So every training is not meant for everybody, but however, you need to understand whichever training is relevant to whichever employee. You have to make sure that as an organization, you'll be able to make it sure that the person is getting the relevant training and the person is able to develop themselves, himself, herself. That is also very important. You have to make your atmosphere, environment very clear, very precise that everybody is treated equally. For example, if there is any discrimination, your employees must trust the management that if I raise my voice can be addressed. My concerns can be addressed without any biasness. One very recent example, a girl committed suicide in the month of July from EY. I don't know how many of you know it. It is a very viral news.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Because of pressure. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that if the girl is wrong or if the company is wrong. Unless the truths have come out, till the time truths come out, You cannot blame anybody. See, always the sympathy is from the individual perspective. If somebody, even if not just girl, since it is a girl, even more empathy. Even if a boy commits suicide for the similar reason, still the blame goes on to company. But till the time we knows, till the time we are known to the facts, we cannot comment on it. If it is a true case or not, assuming that whatever is written, whatever is claimed by the individual's mother is true. Considering that it is true, I don't know what if it is true or wrong. I cannot make any comment on that. If it is true, then definitely it is a failure from the company's perspective. They have to take actions against those managers. They have to. So in this case, it has to be very clear that if I am raising my voice for biasness, for discrimination, for anything, even if I would want to share an idea that helps an organization to grow, still I have to have confidence, I have to have faith, I have to have trust at the organizational top management that if I'm saying something, my words are considered. My words are taken into consideration that if I am making some sense, definitely my statements will be respected and will be integrated. And that kind of atmosphere, that kind of environment has to be created within the organization. Doesn't matter if you are a boy or a girl, you are a woman or a man. You are a fresher or a senior leadership individual, middle management individual. Doesn't matter who you are. It has to be a situation or environment where everybody shall be able to give an opportunity to speak their hearts out. What if I'm raising a complaint? And if I'm raising a complaint against my boss, and my boss is told that, okay, one of your employees, Miss ABCD, Mr. Balamurali, Miss Ekta, Mr. Pavan has raised a complaint against you, saying that you are doing this. If that is the case, then definitely the boss may have some grudge on you. It's possible. So how to tackle it? One of your employees raised a concern about your way of working, and that employee is ABCD, anonymous. If your organization is giving you enough trust that enough trust and enough courage to you that, okay, enough trust and enough faith that your details will be kept secret, it gives you courage to raise your voice for a better cause. At the same time, there are cases where women have made wrong allegations about male employees, and male employees have made wrong allegations about female employees. What if a wrong allegation is made? Still, the person who is making the wrong allegation, doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, man or woman, senior manager or junior manager or a fresher, doesn't matter who you are. The person has to be punished as per the law. And this is whistleblower policy, whistleblowing system. And I'm sure since you all are working somewhere, you must be seeing this kind of system, whistleblowing system within an organization. And if it is a corporate, and you must have signed this document knowingly or unknowingly. When I say sign this document, not exactly that you are taking a pen and a paper and you're signing it. There must be a training that you must have gone through for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And at the end of the day, you click on submit. That yes, I've read through, I have listened to the entire course, and I understand what my responsibilities are and how does this whistleblower system functions. I'm agreeing to that, whatever. You must have done it. Each of you must have done it in your life, if it is relatively a big organization. All right. So these kind of situations are coming from your social perspective, and that to employees only. In addition to employee, I mean, here another point that I did not speak about is it's about health and safety of the employees. I mean, indirectly I did speak heights and driving and all, but not directly. Number of fatalities, lost time injuries. So you are from the similar background, and you all know lost time injury rate, frequency rate, man days away from work, days away from work, DART, health and safety policies, principles, well-being steps that you are taking, etc., etc. And then human rights, child labor issues, a lot of these things. I mean, we will discuss in detail about all these things going forward. These are the topics that we'll be covering under social, under employees. Then we have customers, customer satisfaction, customer communication channels, how easy it is for customers to understand, to reach the seller, if there is any product, if there is any issue, or if I would want to raise a complaint, or if you would want to share some feedback, whatever. How we are making it very easy for me to reach you as a seller, as a buyer. How am I considering it? Whether it is easy, whether I'm happy. And then we speak about communities, local community people. I'm not really going in detail, looking at the time, because all these things will be discussed very in detail in phase 2, right? Then we speak about CSR funds, spend, sustainable development goals integration, local communities, indigenous people, etc., etc. And then we speak about governance topic. As an organization, if any individual or any organization would want to integrate ESG, would want to practice ESG, then it is impossible, it is practically not viable unless the board of directors come forward and give you a go-ahead. Right or wrong? Right or wrong?
Very true, sir.
Right? So unless board of directors give you a go-ahead, you cannot do. Hence, this entire governance is something which drives the entire concept of ESG. Though when you look at this concept, it is something like even today, a lot of people perceive ESG as environment. Right or wrong? Even today, when we say ESG, the first thing that comes to the mind is environment, nothing else. For some, it is charity, CSR. Unfortunately, they are wrong statements. It has to start with governance. The board of directors have to understand what the organization is all about and how they would want to integrate the non-financial factors into the organization, and whether to become sustainable or not. If they would want to become sustainable, how? It has to start from them. Then different committees, then different committee heads, then board structure, women directors, men, women, and then board attendance, executive directors, non-executive directors, independent directors, policies, code of conduct, supplier code of conduct, supply chain, and then different other policies like human rights policy, procurement policy, responsible sourcing policy, conflict mineral policy, health and safety policy, biodiversity policy, etc., etc., etc. Materiality assessment, stakeholder engagement, R&D, research and development, new integrations, new adaptations, targets. All these things have to come from your governance. Then only as individuals, as employees, as leaders of an organization, you will be able to take steps towards E or S. Otherwise, until and unless governance part is not there, you cannot really think, you cannot really work.
So what is ERS, sir?
What, sir? Environment and social.
ERS you told. Okay.
Not ERS, environment or social. It's
Okay.
O or R, not R, the letter R.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? So governance is such strong pillar, which is not really considered by a lot of individuals, at least 70-80% of the individuals across globe. Probably now they are realizing the importance, but when I did start my journey, probably about a decade before, hardly people were knowing about the importance of the governance. Mostly they were speaking about environment. Then after 2015, they started speaking about the inequality, so-called inequalities and other social related issues. Otherwise, governance is something which hardly people were discussing, people were addressing. But it is the crucial pillar of this entire concept. Without governance, you cannot do anything. So this is about the concept of ESG. So ESG is a platform that deals with the non-financial performance of an organization, which helps businesses to achieve long-term growth, which helps them to reach towards or to travel towards sustainable tomorrow. So ESG is a platform that helps businesses to achieve sustainability. Do you now understand the link between sustainability and ESG? Hello?
Sir,
Do you now understand the link between ESG and sustainability?
yes, sir.
Yes.
So sustainability is common for anybody, everybody. When we speak about sustainability from the perspective of business, to achieve that sustainability, the platform is ESG. ESG is not sustainability. Please understand that. Even from the perspective of business, the objective is to achieve sustainable growth. The objective is to achieve the sustainable factors. And for that objective, the platform is ESG. So you can say that ESG is a subset of sustainability. Rather, unlike a lot of people think that sustainability is part of ESG. Unfortunately, it's a bitter truth that at least about 70-80% of the people that I used to meet, at least about 2023, till last year, these many percentages of people, 70-80% of the people used to claim that sustainability is part of ESG. But we need to understand that ESG is a platform that helps organizations to speak about the non-financial performance of the organization under the heads of environment, social, and governance to achieve long-term business development or long-term business growth, which helps businesses to achieve sustainable tomorrow or sustainable long-term sustainability, long-term business sustainable development, business sustainable growth. And what are the terms or words that you want to use? This is the statement that you need to make when somebody asks about ESG. What is ESG? ESG is a platform that helps organizations to speak about, to disclose about the non-financial performance of the organization to achieve sustainability in a simple language, in a simple statement. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It is pretty clear now.
Now, so if it is pretty clear, then I have a small question. If it is that simple, then why ESG and we have ESG and CSR? Whatever we have discussed so far, there is something which we are doing in CSR as well. Agreed or not?
Pardon, sir. Once again.
So whatever we have discussed so far, almost everything is done through CSR, corporate social responsibility. Then how ESG is different from CSR, or are these two same? My question to you, ESG, CSR are same or they are different from each other? If your answer is same, how? If they are different from each other, how? How they are different from each other?
Yeah, maybe
It's the same, sir.
CSR is more focused on one single line, that is the social responsibility, what activity we are going to do in that specific field. ESG, it is like covering many other topics of an organization, many other things which is involved in the ESG.
Okay.
So,
For your understanding, CSR, corporate social responsibility, does not mean that they always only say that we will provide some training to women empowerment, underprivileged women, or maybe probably to say probably providing food to hunger people. No, it's not only about CSR. Even if you plant trees, that is also about CSR. You understand that?
yeah,
So
exactly. Like it is streamlined to one specific thing, actually.
Absolutely. So if that is the case, then all these things are something which whatever we have discussed so far, all these things can be dealt with as part of CSR, almost everything. Then what is the difference if they are different? Either if they are different or same. That is the only choice that we have. Either same or different. I'm saying that these two are same because there's no much difference. And you are saying, no, they are different. So I want an answer. I want a conclusion that these two are different. How? You said something, but I'm not convinced. Still, I'm thinking as per my learning, still I'm thinking that these two are same, because whatever that we need to achieve as part of ESG so far, that whatever we learned is something which we can achieve through CSR. Of course, governance is something which also has to come from CSR, that I understand, but E&S is what we need to achieve, right? Governance is something which we cannot achieve, because that has to be initiated by the board of directors. So E&S is what we can achieve by taking some actions, and those can be done through CSR. Then how these two are different? If you say yes, if you say no, they are same, then how they are same? Of course, I'm giving you explanation that they are same. So do you agree with me? At least as per my understanding, they are same. Okay? Hello?
Because CSR also works towards sustainability.
Absolutely. Right? Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. If that is the case, then we are wrong. These two are completely different. Now the statement is right. So these two are not, I would say completely different, but I would say there's a huge difference. ESG and CSR, there's a huge difference. Now just give it a try. What can be the difference? Now I have given you the answer that they are not same. So what do you think could be the answer? Okay. What is CSR? Can somebody tell me?
Corporate social responsibility.
And what is the objective of CSR?
So if a certain company earns profit beyond the limit, then they need to donate those funds for doing the CSR works.
So is it an investment or it is just a spend?
I feel it is just a spend, is what I feel. So.
So yeah, you're right. So the moment you say it is just spent, so does it have any objective of getting some return on investment?
No,
Ideally, no. Absolutely. That's exactly the difference. If ESG and CSR are same, then probably today we do not need ESG, because CSR is already there, where a lot of organizations are spending an X amount of money. Doesn't matter if they're getting profits or not. A lot of organizations are spending an X amount of money for the welfare of society, be it from the perspective of individuals, society, be it from the perspective of environment. A lot of people, a lot of
sir, I
organizations.
have a doubt, sir.
Sir, if you
So
don't,
because it's
if you don't mind,
CSR,
sir, if you
CSR
don't,
is working
hello,
towards
sir.
some other aspects, right?
Sir,
Yes,
if you
sir.
don't mind, give me a minute. Yeah. So it can be, protecting lakes, it can be rejuvenating rivers, creating some livelihood for flora, fauna, creating some better premises for different species. So helping different trees to grow in a specific location, creating such kind of conditions. So all these are also part of your CSR. It is pretty much part of your CSR. You cannot say that this is environment. Of course, this is environment, which is done through your CSR. The same time, if I want to feed 100 people, yes, I can do it through CSR. If I want to, let's say, give some trainings to different individuals, probably for, let's say, underprivileged communities, still I can do through as per my CSR. If I want to provide some health benefits, I can distribute, let's say, best example, corona vaccine. A lot of organizations distributed these corona vaccines for free of cost. CSR, health. So if I can if I can build some schools, homes, housing and education, CSR. So you understand that. So CSR is already there. And almost every organization is doing their bit. However, for certain organizations, especially for limited organizations, as per 2013 CSR Act, so this is something again we'll be discussing little in detail. Let me not spend some time here. As per 2013 Act, for some organizations it is mandatory, not for all organizations. So 2% of their last 3 years weighted average of net profits. Let's forget about that. So in short, 2%. Let's not really go in detail for now. 2% of the profits have to be spent. Not for every organization again. This is made mandatory in 2014, which was initiated in the year 2013. As per 2013, the CSR Act, all these organizations for which it is made mandatory since then, they have to spend 2% of their net profit of their previous 3 years weighted average. That's a little complicated thing. Let's not get into that. So these organizations, for them, it is already made mandatory. So those organizations which are making 1,000 crore profit, so 20 crores is something they have to spend by default. These things are already there. Then why ESG? If these two are same, then why we are speaking about ESG today? So why ESG? As of now, we spoke about climate, rising temperatures. I mean, though we did not actually mention that, but we discussed about that. Rising temperature, emission, water, waste, energy usage, renewable, non-renewable. All these things can be dealt with CSR funds. And of course, a lot of organizations are actually doing it. Funding schools for better education, constructing schools, donation of books, donation of funds so that they can buy chairs, so constructing laboratories. A lot of things are happening, be it environmental perspective, be it social perspective. Right? You understand it. However, all these things are done with no profitability motto. Please understand that. If it is CSR, corporate social responsibility, then the spend, they will not be expecting any return on investment. There is no expectation of ROI. The moment the concept of ROI is taken off, the amount that you are spending is considered CSR activity. The moment I spend some money for XYZ activity and I'm expecting some return on investment, some favor in return, and that is not CSR activity. You know it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right? So if all these things are already there, then there is no point that we must be having a concept of ESG. And if there is no difference,
Sir, I have a
then
point here,
today
sir.
we
I
would
have a
not be
point here,
having
sir.
these many different verticals, these many different discussions, these many different thought processes, right? So there is difference, and that difference is profitability motto, the economics part of ESG. Yes, sir. Now I think, sir, you're having a question or you're trying to make a statement.
Sir,
Sorry.
yeah, sir. Actually, what I feel is that, sir, CSR focuses on no ROI or something like that. You told, so they spend on some lake rejuvenations or some feeding hunger or planting
Yes, sir.
trees, etc. But for the organization to be environmentally sustainable, then I don't think so. Then CSR and ESG can be one and the same. So they should work towards the environment and sustainability. Also, CSR may be a part they work towards sustainability. That's all.
Sir, your statement is not clear to me, sir. I'm sorry.
So actually, sir, if the company, the CSR and ESG are not one and the same, because companies spend
Of course.
some amount of money on some aspects of the environment, but they are not focusing on their sustainability.
Sir, okay, their sustainability. For example, sir, let's say I'm having 20 crore rupees as profit, and out of that, 2% is 4 crores. Sorry, not 4 crores. 2%
Some
is
X amount,
40
sir.
lakhs.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay,
Some
whatever
X,
the number
sir.
is, 40 lakhs. So with this 40 lakhs, if I plant some trees, actually I'm making it sustainable, sir. And if you plant, let's say, mango trees, it creates revenue also for me. The emission that is being absorbed by these mango trees can be offset from my organizational emissions.
Okay.
So there is sustainability involved, sir. CSR does not mean that there is no sustainability involved.
Okay.
But in this example, if you clearly look at it, the moment I say there is return on investment involved, which means there are two things. I have 40 lakhs. I can spend it in two ways. One, I can give it to you When I say give it to you, I can create a, let's say, 4 or 5 different houses for a small community of 10 families.
Right.
There is no return on investment criteria here.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
The same time, I can use these 40 lakhs to create those 10 houses to provide shelter to 10 families. Again, same thing. However, here in this case, I'm expecting them to work for my farm. Let's say I have 3 acres of farm, for example.
Mhm.
So here it is return on investment that I'm expecting. So here it is ESG. How?
Okay.
I have constructed homes for them. So I'm taking care of my employees and their families. Their
It is a
well-being is
social part.
one of my
Yeah.
concerns. At the same time,
Social.
I'm not doing it for charity. I want my ROI, return on investment, and they have to work for my farm. It's kind of giving employment and giving accommodation for my employees and their families.
Sir, suppose if a CSR project is lake rejuvenation and the company is a manufacturing company or some company, so
Mhm.
then how do you interrelate that ROI and the company profile, sir? How are they making themselves sustainable in this case?
Okay. So, sir, there is a company A which is spending amount of money for lake rejuvenation. Okay.
Mm, mm,
So from this lake rejuvenation, there are 2, 3 things that I can get. One, if I am getting uh, carbon credit benefit from this, which means carbon offset.
okay,
Okay. If that is the case, then I'm expecting some return on investment.
okay.
So return on investment every time cannot be money, monetarily in number, money. It can be tangible
Okay.
or it can be intangible.
Intangible.
So it can be your brand value that it is increasing. It may
Mm,
give you some additional benefits in other ways, but there is some return on investment that you are expecting. Otherwise, it becomes only CSR if you regenerate the lake and you left it. I mean, you are maintaining it. That's it. You are not expecting any benefit from that. For example, if you do lake rejuvenation, you can actually grow fish, and with fish you can make money,
correct.
right?
Right.
And if you're not doing it, if you make money, if you're letting some fishermen make money and it is creating livelihood for them, it is CSR. If in
Okay.
the same case, if the fisherman is giving you some share, let's say you have regenerated the lake and you have brought, let's say, 10 families to the lakeside and they are fishing and they are earning some money, and you're taking even 2% or 10% of what they're earning, that is your return on investment.
Okay.
So in both cases, you are helping something with respect to environment, with respect to individual, society as individual, society as environment. In both cases, they are getting benefited.
Got it, sir.
One case, I'm not getting benefit as company. In other case, I'm getting benefit as company. If I'm getting benefit in the form of revenue, in the form of return on investment, it can be either money, it can be either asset or whatever it is.
Sir, then how can you link this to sustainability, sir? Of a company, of an organization, sustainable for tomorrow.
Okay.
Uh,
Sir,
uh,
sir, it is return on investment, you are understanding it is sustainable, right?
uh,
If it is CSR, still there is a lot of ecosystem that is in place.
okay.
Trees you are growing, water is clean.
Hmm.
You are helping 2, 3, 4 families of fishermen to feed their families, earn their bread and butter.
Okay.
Is that not sustainable?
Okay.
Hope you're getting the narrow difference, the thin line that you can draw
Just,
between ESG and
I'm
CSR.
just trying to relate this to, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you're now getting clarity. You got some clarity.
Yeah. Now it is little better.
Yeah. So days go by, we'll understand, sir. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the core difference is this. The moment the concept economics is added, the profitability thought process is added. That's where we speak about the concept of ESG. Otherwise, these kind of things are already there in the market. Whatever we discussed so far. All these examples for your CSR. But the objective of CSR is not profitability, whereas whatever the money that you're spending to become sustainable, to become environmentally friendly company, to become social friendly company, if you're expecting some return on investment, if you want to make, if you would want to make your organization profitable, then that is ESG, and that has to be that profit has to be through your non-financial parameters.
Okay.
This is ESG. I hope the overall concept of ESG is somewhat clear, at least.
Yes. Yeah. So, CSR and ESG are same. Is
Sorry,
not
sir?
same. CSR and ESG. So it's a thin line.
Yes, a thin line. But if you look at the positioning of CSR and ESG, then there's a lot of difference. So CSR, corporate social responsibility, is an activity that is dealt
Correct.
under stakeholder engagement of
Mhm.
social vertical, which is a concept of ESG, which is part of sustainability. So sustainability under ESG, under social, under stakeholder engagement, under CSR. So if you look at
Yeah.
that way, these two are very distinct from each other from that perspective.
Okay.
Otherwise, the concept wise, if you look at a thin line,
Correct. Yeah.
because here concept wise, if you're looking at, you're considering E and S only. The G part is not, we will be able to relate with CSR if you understand that.
No, sir. Yeah.
So that is the biggest difference that we also need to make a note.
Mhm.
Whatever examples that I have taken, either that is relevant to environment or social, right?
Not with respect to
Governance
governance.
part is not relatable with respect to your CSR. So this is also the biggest difference that we can, we can draw a line between ESG and CSR if you want to. The governance part is also something which you can draw,
Mhm.
right?
Right, sir.
Clear, guys, everyone? The concept of ESG. Any questions? Hello?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So whatever we discussed so far are on the are on the slide. However, all topics are something which we cannot keep with respect to the bullet points and all. Few of the topics are what we mentioned. However, don't worry, as we promised, by the time we go to phase 2, you'll be you'll be introduced to a lot of subtopics. Don't worry, right? So except one topic called supply chain, almost everything else is discussed in today's class so far. Let us see: climate, conservation of natural resources, biodiversity, water waste management, sustainable innovation. Sustainable innovation directly I did not refer to. However, if you remember me speaking about BS 5, 6 engines, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star ACEs and all, there is sustainable innovation, isn't it?
Mm.
I spoke about
Yes.
R&D.
Sustainable. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these things, directly or indirectly, we have dealt almost everything.
Mm.
But I might have taken the name directly, but we did discuss society, local community, diversity, inclusion, human capital as in human rights, child labor issues and all. So we did discuss risk management. Directly, we did not. Indirectly, if you look at the EY case, if it is proven guilty that EY did not give enough what to say time to
Work-life balance.
time to work-life balance, let's say, that is a risk for them, isn't it?
Mm.
Isn't it?
True, sir.
So risk management, you understand? But a very simple example I'm taking, which are very clear to me, which you are actually experiencing in today's era. Simple examples. Corporate governance, I did speak. Without board of directors, without their consent, we cannot do anything. And that has to come from corporate governance. And if corporate governance, and if board of directors say, okay, you go ahead, then there has to be a format, right? So I'm learning how to drive a car. Does it mean that I can drive like anything like I want? No, I cannot. There is a rule book. If there is a red, I need to stop. Green, I need to start. If there is a zebra crossing, I need to stop. I need to slow. I need to slower my vehicle. If it is a dotted lane, then I can overtake. If it is double lane, then I shall not cross the lane at any cost. There is a rule book, right? I learned how to drive a car does not mean that I can drive like anything and anywhere. I cannot drive a car on the runway. Can I? There is a rule book. In a very similar way, as an organization, how you have to function. For that, though board of directors say, okay, you go ahead, yet we have to have our rule book, and we call that as code of conduct, code of ethics and business conduct, business code of ethics, and whatever you name it. You all know it, right? Code of conduct.
No.
This is the rule book that you
Yes.
have to have. What, as an employee, what you shall be doing and what you shall not be doing, and to whom it is relevant. If you are a full-time employee, what for you? If you are a contract employee, I mean full-time permanent, full-time contract, part-time permanent, part-time contract. Possible? So if you are full-time permanent, what applies to you and what does not? If you are part-time permanent, what applies to you and what does not? Part-time contract, what for you and what for or what is not? So likewise, it's a rule book. And for whom? Is it only for employees or is it also for specific stakeholders? So that's what you'll be having under code of conduct or code of ethics or business code of conduct. And different names, more or less, when different companies use different names, there's something I cannot give you on a common name. Transparency, you all know. The more transparent you are, the more weightage that you get in terms of your policies, in terms of your profitability, in terms of your shareholdings, in terms of your projections, in terms of your tax filings, whatnot. So you get the concept, right? Have we not discussed all these things till today, till now? Have we or have we not?
We have.
Right? Yeah. Now, why do you think, I mean, Bala did speak about these many topics so far. Those which are not there on the screen also Bala did speak. But didn't you get this question that why didn't Bala speak about supply chain?
No.
Do you have this question or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can you tell me why? Why I did not speak about the supply chain? Any ideas? Any specific idea?
No, sir. No idea.
Hello? Yeah. Okay. So supply chain does not mean that that's something which is driving a truck or something. That is also an organization. Agreed or not? If somebody is giving you vehicles, be it a proprietary organization or a partnership organization or a private limited company or a limited company or an LLP, still that is also an organization. If that is an organization and ESG is also relevant for them. If I say you, simple topic. If I say you, it is only you. But if let's say if I'm talking to one of you and let's say I'll take a name, Ekta or maybe Sneha, or let's say Pawan sir, you or Anusha, let's say. Ekta, your family. Does it mean only you or your family as well? The other members, your husband, children, mother, father, cousins, whatever. And if I say Pawan sir, you and your family, does it mean that only you or
No, sir.
your parents, your wife, your children, or
Everyone.
no? Sir?
Everyone.
Everyone. But when I say, sir, you, does it mean your family?
No.
Primarily,
Me
no,
only.
right?
Yeah.
The very similar way, when we speak about any organization, if the organization and value chain, then supply chain as an organization comes into picture. So if you want to become a good family, not just you, but every family member, each member of your family has to be good, isn't it? In a very similar way, me being TCS, me being Railways, Indian Railways, me being XYZ company, any company for your understanding, any chemical company you take, Tata Chemicals for that matter. If I want to become a sustainable organization, being a Tata Chemicals company, being Tata Motors company, being Mercedes company, not just me, but my supply chain also shall be sustainable, which means whatever I'm doing, more or less, they also shall be having their own set of rules to achieve sustainability for their own organization. Don't you think?
Yes.
Otherwise, I will not be say me being Mercedes, me being Rolls Royce, me being whatever the company, Tata Motors or Toyota Motors, me being Google. I cannot say that I'm a family which is very good. I cannot say that. Hence, as an organization, whenever I'm signing a contract with you, when I say you are a supplier. Let's say you are providing raw materials to me, or you are providing vehicles to me for my transportation requirements. Whenever I'm signing a contract, there is a process of supplier evaluation, supplier onboarding. While doing that, I need to evaluate you if you're also somebody who is giving priority to your respective sustainable parameters.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I also shall be saying that, boss, I'm also having a code of conduct for you. And we call that as supplier code of conduct, which you have to sign saying that whatever the raw materials that you are procuring for me, that you are giving it to me, shall be based on XYZ rules. Again, what those rules can be? Your E&S rules, kind of. You shall, I mean, me being a company, if I'm signing a contract with you, I'll be saying that you being a supplier, you shall not employ child labor, you shall not force your employees to work for more than 8 hours a day. If you are asking your employees to work for more than 8 hours a day, you have to pay them OTs. You're getting it?
Yeah.
So if I'm making these kind of rules in my rule book, and if I'm making sure that you're also implementing these rules in your organization, that's when me being head of the family, I'm making sure that my family is also good. You're getting this link, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just social, but also environment part. Whatever the raw materials that you are procuring shall be as per the local, national, and international rules. What the vehicles that you are using shall be BS6 engines only. Shall not be emitting more than 10 grams of emission per liter of consumption. And shall not be using diesel, shall only be using petrol. So these kind of rules I can make, right? At least 20% of the energy has to come from renewable energy sources only. I can make it, right? Can't I?
Yeah.
Yes,
True,
I
sir.
can.
We can make it. Yeah.
And you as a supplier shall be abiding by this. For that, additional clause what I'll be having in the contract agreement is that, and the contract agreement is supplier code of conduct, for your information. So the second point is that I can come to your organization anytime as per my own wish, and I can do audit, and you shall not say no. You cannot say no. You have to allow me to do the audit just to see if you are in line with my requirements or not. And me being the family member, it is my duty, it is my responsibility to get my suppliers audited. Isn't it or not?
Ekdam, sir.
Otherwise, how do you make it sure that your suppliers are actually following your rules and regulations? What if I signed a contract but I'm not following the rules? I know what is Indian constitution, but I'm still killing a person. What if you don't have laws? What if you don't have a police station? What if you don't have a court? How will you punish me? So you have to have an evaluation system for your suppliers as well. And you also have to have a very strong rule book saying that if any supplier goes beyond your limitations, then you shall be able to cancel the contract. Meanwhile, you can also say that external audit reports, at least once in every year or twice a year, you can request for external audit reports from your suppliers.
Okay.
Of course, these things are very, what we say, not really practically possible in today's era. Probably I would say till probably 2021 maybe. But now things are changing, and organizations are also starting doing these things. But it is not that easy. It will require another 2, 3, 4 years maybe. But still, this is the opportunity what we have Otherwise, if you look at only big organizations, we don't really have an opportunity. Trust me, guys. And if that is the case, then I would not be promising that, yes, after taking this course, you'll be able to do this, you'll be able to do that. No. That is only possible only if you have big organizations. But what about these many people that we are always saying that there are 2 to 5 lakh job opportunities are there in the market? There are only big organizations. We hardly have big organizations. Maybe 1 lakh across globe. And if you look at the so-called big organizations, how many people can join there? Maybe 50,000? Because they already have got their own teams. Then what about my promise that I'm making it to you? So there's immense opportunity. This is the opportunity that is evolving, that is coming out. Hope guys, you're able to connect the dots.
Yes. Right,
Hope
sir.
I'm able to make some sense so far. I'm able to give the clear path so far at least. Maybe 10% clarity. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is about ESG. So today, if somebody asks you what is ESG and what is sustainability, you must be able to differentiate between ESG, sustainability, and CSR. And why supply, though across globe, wherever you go, supply chain is something which will be dealt with social context. However, I prefer to deal supply chain as a separate topic, but I cannot do it, right? Because I'm not a regulatory body. So that is the reason why we also are showing supply chain as part of social, as a representation. But so supply chain has very unique importance. Clear, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So history, I mean, this presentation will be shared with you all. You can go through that. Now, whatever we discussed so far, that is already there on the screen. Why ESG? So what is ESG? Okay, why ESG? As I told you, without this one crucial factor for investment, this entire ESG has no value. If this is not there, if this is not there, if this is not there, and here, I mean, investors, okay, I agree. But now it has to be replaced with stakeholders. It is an older image. Pardon me for this. You do not read it as investors. You read this word as stakeholders.
Stakeholder.
Then this entire context will be clear. Investors are one set of stakeholders. As part of stakeholders, we have investors, we have employees, we have government, we have media, we have customers, right? We have supply chain as stakeholders. So read it as stakeholders. Now see, I'm sure I don't have to explain it because we already have discussed a lot about it. You just give me one topic which we have not discussed. Give me one topic that we have not discussed so far in today's session.
Conservation.
Sir, attract higher investment.
So there are 2 organizations. One organization is that is proving that they can sustain for longer duration. The other organization is not proving. So which organization you'd want to invest in? You'd want to invest in the organization which is going to give you more returns or less returns?
More.
So more returns will come from long-term vision.
Correct.
And if that long-term vision is coming with this ESG, then don't you want to invest in that company?
Definitely, sir.
And if that is the case, then obviously higher investments, right? And today, if you look at RBI, Reserve Bank of India, you all know. I think in the month of June, if I remember the month right, and about 2-3 months in this year only, they announced that year 2026 onwards, all financial institutions must be lending their money to those organizations which are climate friendly. I mean, I'm cutting it short. There is a concept called TCFD, which we will be learning probably next 3 to 5 days. I mean to say about after 3-5 classes, probably about 2 or 3 weeks approximately. So the concept of TCFD has 11 principles, 4 quadrants: governance, risk, fourth quadrant is metrics, and third quadrant, I forgot the word. Governance, risk, strategy. Sorry, governance, strategy, risk, and the fourth one is metrics. So they have got 11 principles, right? These 11 principles, as it is, hardly there is any change, hardly. In fact, the article, if you go through, directly they have mentioned that based on TCFD's 11 principles, clearly they have mentioned. And they have to be integrated and implemented by the organizations. Otherwise, you will not get investment. So don't you think that integrating ESG will give you more investments?
Yes.
So there are a lot of things that are changing. And recently, as per, I think 2 days ago, I did, I mean, in fact, if you're part of one or a few of our WhatsApp groups, ESG Sustainability or Carbon Accounting WhatsApp groups, if anybody is part, then we did ask one question about CSR last Friday, 3 days before. And there is also a new integration that this year onwards, organizations have to spend some amount of money to provide practical training to at least about 5 crore people or 1 crore people. I forgot the number. In terms of internships and all. For that, companies have to allocate some budget. I mean, if you are part of one of our WhatsApp groups, you can just scroll up.
10 million people.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
It's for 10 million people over 5 years.
Okay, which is 1 crore people then.
Sorry?
1 crore people, not 5 crores, it's 1 crore people over 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, a lot of things are coming, a lot of things are happening, a lot of opportunities coming in. You're getting it?
Yeah.
So the more sustainable you are, the more investments that you can expect.
Investments.
Point number 2. There's a concept of eco-VADIS. I don't know what is the time. Yeah, we have 10 minutes. So there's a concept of eco-VADIS, which we will be discussing probably at the end of the course module, but let me give you a glimpse. It is a rating agency which lets you know who is good, who is bad, who is top rated, who is poor rated. Okay. So tomorrow, if you would want to buy some products or services from any other organization, you will be going with this rating. You will be buying your products or services from only those companies which are having good rating, which means they are following ESG in a structured way. Because as an organization, you also have to, you're also having the responsibility to prove yourself as a sustainable organization. You are very good, but one of your family members is not good, then how can you prove that you are a good family? You get that? So as an organization, if I would want to prove myself as a sustainable organization, then I also have to buy products or services from sustainable organizations only. Which means if I'm a sustainable organization, then I'll be having more demand. If there is more demand, then there's possibility of more investment, getting more investment, competitive advantage. You're getting it, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And for that matter, I can also give you a couple of facts. About 54% of the citizens from US who participated in the survey conducted by an organization, I forgot the name of the organization, to be honest. In the year 2021, there is a company, there is an organization X, which did conduct this survey in the US for a certain amount of people. Out of them, 35+% of the percentage of people are saying that we want to buy sustainable products. If somebody can give us assurance that these products are sustainable. You get that? And 54% of the people are ready to make a premium of 12% payment. If I'm getting a competitive product at 100 rupees, I'm ready to buy the sustainable product at 112 rupees. Average, I'm saying. Not every product. One product can be priced at 20% more and other product can be 5% more. Average, I'm saying. So people were ready to make 12% premium on sustainable products if they are stamped, if they are authenticated by relevant bodies like, like SEBI in India or maybe SEC from US, Securities Exchange Commission, maybe European Commission from European market. You're getting it?
Yeah.
So even consumer behavior is changing. Even in India, from the last 5 years, if you look at even 5 years before, hardly people were considering to spend more money to buy a 5-star AC, buy a 5-star refrigerator, 5-star washing machine. But today, at least one of us are at least thinking of buying 3-star on the least side, least case, instead of going for 1-star or 2-star. Am I right or wrong?
Exactly, sir.
Why? Because consumer awareness is increasing, and we are also witnessing the heat, witnessing the situations that we are facing in today's era, and we are also trying to do a bit from our end, right? So consumer behavior is also changing, and if you are a sustainable organization, you can price your products at relatively higher price. And just look at rice. Almost all of us eat rice. If you go to market, you can have rice packet that can be sold from as low as 15-20 rupees to as high as 200-250 rupees as well. You know it, right? 15-20
Yes,
rupees
definitely, sir.
breakages when it's like small pieces, and 200 rupees pure organic certified by XYZ body per kilo, 200 rupees. Why? Why a commonly grown rice is priced at 50-60 rupees and organically grown rice is priced at 200 rupees, and still they're able to make their brands. One best example, Country Delight. If I want to buy half-liter milk in the market, I'll be spending 30 rupees, 35 rupees. But Country Delight, it is 46 rupees. Of course, if you don't have a membership and all. 54 rupees. Still they're able to make it. Why? They are saying that farm fresh. And they're also giving you the meters to test the quality of your milk. Credibility. The consumer behavior is changing. Right? So all these things that we have discussed so far are relevant in today's era. And they have the importance. Clear, guys, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you check for sustainability with respect to ESG, you will not find any such topic. It's just I try to make a correlation between ESG and sustainability. So if this is if you look at this part, it is sustainability, and it will be achieved with this part. Sorry. This is business. If you have this, you'll be able to achieve this. So this is the correlation that I try to make, but otherwise there is no concept like sustainability with respect to ESG. It's just for understanding purpose only. Okay? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So growth, I already spoke. But these factors, these statistics I did not give you. It is from HSBC and another bank. These two did make this survey. I forgot to, give the credits to that company. That's my mistake. Please do not use for professional use. If you do, then try to find the source. Otherwise, we cannot use it. Hence, I'm making it very clear that the source is something which we forgot to mention. Hence, we clearly mentioned that note here. If you look at this graph from this HSBC and the other organization, within 10 years, approximately, at least about 3 times growth is what we'll be able to see. Agreed or not? The forecast is already there on the screen. I don't have to speak. Approximately about 60-65 trillion USD to about 160, 170 trillion USD. You should take 60 multiplied by 3, which is 180 approximately. 3 times in just 10 years. Just imagine kind of wealth that will be rotated, that will be circulated within the industry called ESG. Right? So this is something which we will be discussing little in detail after phase 1. But it is just for your understanding what we can do. I'll explain it what is assessment, what is scoring, what is rating, what is benchmarking. This is just for your reference. If somebody understands it, it's fine. Otherwise, don't worry. Allow me, give me about a month and a half. After completing phase 1, before starting phase 2, we'll be spending about half an hour to 1 hour in this part, career transition. Okay. So different kinds of job roles and opportunities. Since nobody's from a technological background, like IT and all, so let me not really focus on this. But still, I'll be speaking about this during that class because that is relevant, that is needed for us to speak. What happens if there's no technology with respect to ESG? There's a lot of requirement, a lot of dependency on technology. We'll speak on that. Otherwise, you can, the primary motto of each of you who has taken this course, who have joined us, primarily to shift your career and that to integrate ESG probably to provide consultancy kind of objective. Am I right or wrong? Almost everyone. And almost, in fact, everybody. You're looking forward to either write sustainability reports or to analyze sustainability reports or to provide some sort of advisory. So for you, these things are relevant. Technology, you may not be having expertise in that, but you need to understand how technology can help you so that tomorrow you can make use of technology. So for that reason, I'll be explaining about that a bit. Though I'm not a technology person, I don't know how to define technology, but I know how to use technology in terms of this specific objective. It's just something like using Facebook or a calculator. Very simple example, calculator. You enter 1 plus 2, it gives you 3. And what does it do in the back end? You don't really have to worry about that unless you want to become a coding professional. You agree? You're getting my point. 4 minus 9.
Yeah.
Answer is 1. You don't have to worry. 4 minus 9 is 1. Right or wrong, you have to think. Otherwise, how it is doing, that is not your job. That is not your business. 4 minus 9, 1. Is it right or wrong? If it is wrong, then probably you can go back to your technology team and then you can let them know this is wrong. If they prove that, no, 4 minus 9 is 1 only, and if you fail to prove that you are right, then you will continue with that. The day you prove that it is wrong, then the technology team and the subject matter experts will consider this and they'll make the amendments accordingly. Otherwise, technology is something which we need to understand that this is a possibility. But how to use technology, even I don't know. I'm not a software engineer. Okay. So this is about today's session. A very plain, simple understanding. What is ESG? Why it is important? What is the correlation? What are myths? So we did understand different myths that ESG, sustainability are not same. Sustainability, CSR are not same. CSR, ESG are not same, etc., etc. And why these are important? How ESG helps businesses, etc. And these things are something which we introduced today. I hope I'm able to give you some light to understand the concept in a better way. Probably whatever you learned so far, at least that is something better that I have given you. I tried my best at least. So I don't know how you understood, but at least I tried my best to give you. So this is for today. So Wednesday we will be meeting, which is 2nd. So please tell me, since that is a national holiday, okay if we conduct it, or you want
Yes,
to
sir. I'm okay. I'm okay, sir. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
mind.
also okay.
I'm also okay.
I'm also okay.
then Wednesday we'll be having the class. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Same time, 8:30 to 10:30. So before we leave for the day, so in any general feedback, how is my pace? Am I able to give you enough examples to make it clear? So are you expecting anything in addition to what we are discussing today? I mean, in terms of any examples or something, anything that you may be expecting. Though it is a little early, but still, I'll try to modulate something to an extent possible. But if anything, from your end, how is the teaching, how you're grasping it and all. So for today, there will not be any so-called Excels and all. On second, definitely I'll be giving you an assignment. Don't worry, I'll make it sure that you engage for the rest of the days. But for now, just for today, relax. Second onwards, I'll be giving after every class. I'll be giving you assignment. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So
Looking forward.
anything from your end, anything that you want to share, any questions, concerns, anything.
So for me, nothing as of now, sir.
Okay. Anusha, Sneha, Ekta, anything from your end?
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
Nothing for now.
nothing.
Great. Well, then, so I'm able to make some difference at least. This is what at least I can
Yeah,
perceive now. Hope
right, sir.
you're understanding, you're getting the concepts, right?
Right.
Yes.
So next class, if somebody would want to give it a try. So we will be discussing about UNGC, SDG, PRI,
Okay.
United Nations Global Compact, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, PRI, Principles for Responsible Investment, which is a body that is backed by UN again. Some people call it as UNPRI, but that is not the right approach. PRI backed by UN. So you can find it, PRI, Principles for Responsible Investment. So there are the 4 topics that we will be dealing with. And OECD, I'll just introduce to you. It's for economic development. I'll just introduce to you. It's something which we don't, we are not going a lot detail into it. There's a little different story. So I'll just introduce it to you. Otherwise, nothing much. Okay. So next class, we'll be discussing on these 3 topics. And they are the core principles that any and every organization at any given point in time can practice these principles by closing their eyes. The beauty of these things is that doesn't matter if you're an ESG expert or not. By closing your eyes, you can integrate these things. Simple. And trust me, it will give you a minimum of 30% quality to a maximum of 80% quality even. Just these 3 core topics. 30 to 80, what I'm saying, you will understand. When 30 on the lower side, if the organization is relatively big and also practicing some principles. If the organization is relatively new, and for the first time you are integrating these practices, then 70-80% quality is what you'll be able to get. And trust me, as consultants, as advisors, nobody will be able to get 100% quality. And whatever you do, despite the fact that you're giving your hearts out, you're spending 15 hours a day, no client of yours will be happy, not even your boss. So 80% to 90% quality is very good quality. I think Pawan sir, you can agree with me. I think you will be agreeing with me.
Yeah.
80%
Yes,
is not a 80%. If you're getting 80% quality, means you're actually achieving a lot. Because nobody will be happy with you. Doesn't matter how good you are doing. So 30 to 80 is something which is possible with just these 3 topics. Does not mean that you'll be able to do everything on with these 3 topics only. Because let's say if the company is relatively older and having some practice in place already, then you will be limited to 30% quality only, right? So the rest of the classes are equally important, but this is something which is very crucial for any organization at any given point in time, at any given stage. Despite the fact that who you are as an organization, doesn't matter which industry, which sector you belong to, these 3 things are something which you can by default integrate within the organizational activities when it comes to ESG, so that you will be able to create that journey. You'll be able to start that journey, which will give you enough understanding. They are the beginning steps. So next class is, I can't say next class is the only class which is very crucial, but yes, to initiate the journey towards the practicality, this is the beginning, right? So Wednesday, 8:30 p.m., we will be meeting. Till then,
sure,
thank
sir.
you. Good night.
Good night, sir. Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye.
Okay,
So I'll be sharing the recording with you all by tomorrow, the
Yeah,
latest.
sure,
Okay?
sir. Sure,
Yeah.
sir.
sure.
Sure.
Great. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
You.
Thank
Good night.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Y'all.
Bye.